This is the article by Derrick, yeah? And Derrick says, for over 2 decades and counting, mighty Paul Adom-Otchere has been at the very pinnacle of greatness vis-a-vis journalism in Ghana and Africa at large. With wits and zest as mere virtues, he gave birth to a now non-parallel current affairs show that has stood the test of time and mounted his way into the acme of eminence. Hey, the guy Tibrofu. Hey. Comparatively speaking, there hasn't been a better current affairs show in the last 20 years, and I say so objectively. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Good Evening Ghana Official over the years has been a forum that has presented most of us with the rare opportunity of not only being fed with unabated current affairs issues, but more so the tutelage in elocution from the host and panels alike. I, for one, stand a huge beneficiary of this particular tutelage, for which reason many have had probable cause to brand me an eloquent fellow of the English language. Oh, I thank you. Derrick said he was learning the English from, but his English is better than mine, so I'm not sure whether he learned it from me. Okay, let's go on. Whereas some may critique the modus operandi of Paul Adom-Otchere, some are equally of the firm conviction that indeed he stands tall in comparison to any. He has carved for himself an impressive niche of which I'm a staunch member, upon whose support he will rely in delivering on his mandate as the quintessential journalist of the contemporary society. Shall I have to clap for this guy? The guy knows English. Hey, Derrick, he says that he's carved for himself an impressive niche, of which I'm a staunch member, upon whose support he will rely in delivering on his mandate as a quintessential journalist of contemporary society. Okay, let's move on. Some say he's biased, others say he's not. Verily, objectively speaking, I neither think him entirely neutral, nor do I wish he was. And I have to make that point. I am not neutral. I've said that over and over and over and over again. And anytime I say this, I have to go back to Peter Ajete. When he became Speaker of Parliament, the Ghana Bar Association went to him to visit. And they told him that, Uncle Peter, now that you have become Speaker of Parliament, we expect you to be neutral. You know, in his traditional deep voice, he laughed and said, oh, what are you talking about, Ghana Bar Association? I'm a member of the New Patriotic Party. How can I be neutral? In fact, I'm his chairman. I cannot be neutral. I'm sure the word you are looking for is impartial. And I was covering the event, and I listened to Peter. I said, wow, this is deep. He said he's not neutral, but he's impartial. So I'm not neutral. How am I neutral? There's no journalist, political reporter who is neutral, who will be a good political reporter. There's no sports journalist who does not support a club. Kwabena Eboah is Asante Kotoko. Does it affect his work? Kwabena Eboah is not neutral. He's Asante Kotoko. Everybody knows that. But he's impartial. I am a right-wing reporter. I've said it, sir. I am not neutral. I'm neutral. That's what? I'm not. Is God neutral? God said that if you are lukewarm, he will spill you out of his mouth. You're either hot or cold. That lukewarm, he doesn't like it. And I can tell you, viewers, lukewarm is a pretense. Anybody who tells you is lukewarm is a pretense. All the pretenders who say that they are neutral, they are something. They are lying. They just cannot be bold to say it. I am a right-wing reporter. Full stop. I am not neutral. I'm a right-wing reporter. But I have a responsibility to do my work in a certain way. So, am I CNN or Fox? I'm Fox. Am I Real Madrid or Barcelona? I'm Real Madrid. Am I Manchester United or Arsenal? I'm Manchester United. Am I Asante Kotoko or House of Folk? I'm Asante Kotoko. I am not neutral. Neutral for what? Am I Azuma Nelson or Juvenal or Dennis? I am Azuma Nelson. Full stop. What is neutral? Am I Airbus or Boeing? I am Boeing. I'm not neutral. Why am I neutral? Am I Barclays or Stanchart? I am something, but I won't say it because it's somebody's business. I'm something. Why? I'm not neutral. I'm not neutral at all. I don't want to be. Am I charismatic or orthodox? I am charismatic. I'm not neutral. And that's for Christian religion. I'm not neutral. So this issue of you have a journalist, you have to be neutral. The responsibility on me is to be impartial. So the other day, the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC called me, and he says, Paul, I want to come on your show and criticize the Electoral Commission. I said, you are welcome. He said, really? I said, oh, you can come. Why not? You can come. That is the impartiality. I have to host him. I do not agree with his political philosophy, but I'll host him. He came, he spoke. When I sent North, Elvis Ankara came on my show. He spoke, he said all the things he wants to say against anybody. He did. It's okay, it's fine. So I'm a right-wing reporter. I am not left-wing. I cannot be, I don't want to be. So, but I'm impartial. If there's an NDC story, I'll treat it. There's an MPP story, I'll treat it. There's a CPP story, I'll treat it. I have friends in NDC and friends in MPP. But my mind is right-wing. That's the philosophy I believe in. And that's how I report my stories. I'm a right-wing reporter. I am not left-wing. No, I'm not. So I'm not neutral, but I'm impartial. And I try to do my work as a great news reporter. Those of you who have seen my report, I hope you like it. When I sent North, you saw the report. I hope you like it. NDC won the election. Did we say that NDC didn't win? Can we say that NDC didn't win when NDC won the election? In 2008, I stood on this program and I said, congratulations to Professor Mills, but I think Ghanaians have voted wrongly because I support Akufo-Addo. 2008. Here, Atachia and Tonyedu were the guests on that show. Tonyedu and Atachia, they were the guests on that show. This must be 6th January of 2009. And I said, congratulations to Professor Mills, but I think Ghanaians have voted wrongly. Later on, I met Professor Mills. Kojochu Mboafo was there. Raymond Nacha was there. And Professor Mills told me that, Paul, I will show you that Ghanaians didn't vote wrongly. And I said, yes, sir. In his office at the castle. He said, I will show you that Ghanaians didn't vote wrongly. I said, yes, sir. And we spoke nicely. So there's nothing wrong with that. And people must be honest about these things, especially when we are growing, like me. You must be honest about these things. Okay, let me get back to Derrick. Okay, so Derrick, your English is fantastic. Okay, so let me go on. I think okay, some say he's biased, others say he's not. Verily, objectively speaking, I neither think him entirely neutral, nor do I wish he was. Thank you, Derrick. He is but human, and that means he has the discretionary power to choose sides, so long as he does so with sheer fidelity to data. Thank you. Really, none of us is neutral, lest he parades himself as a hypocrite. That's the point I'm making, Derrick. Thank you, Derrick. Charlie, can you find the guy's number? Let me invite him to this program. Go on Facebook and look for Derrick Offe Junior, and let's bring him on the show. I need him here. He has a great mind. He's thinking correct. He doesn't have to agree with me, but the guy is thinking correct. He says that those who say that they are neutral, they are hypocrites. How can you be an adult in this society and say, I'm neutral? You're lying. You're not neutral. You're neutral that way. You are lying. You are just afraid to say because you can't defend it. You can't make an argument. You can't make an argument. You want to say, oh yeah, boy, that's what you want to say. So oh, me, I'm neutral. I don't do that. I'm a journalist. I'm neutral. I don't do. You are a liar. You are not neutral. You are a hypocrite. That's what Derrick is saying. Really, none of us is neutral, lest he parades himself as a hypocrite, akin to many in the profession he ought not to be. I'm neutral that what? I mean, is Kwesi Pratt neutral? Kwesi Pratt is a left-wing reporter. He is not neutral. Kwesi Pratt has never been neutral. He's a left-wing reporter. Kofi Kumsin is a right-wing reporter. I'm not sure about Ben Efson. I think Ben Efson too is left. Kweku Bakum is left and right, but more left because his father is Kofi Bakum. But as for Kwesi Pratt, he's left. I know that. And we talk. I engage him. I love him. And he knows I'm a right-wing reporter. He said, as for you, Paul, I can't even trust anything you say. And then we laugh about it. The other day, I was in his house for a party. I think about 3 years ago. Actually, his daughter's house for a party. Then when I got in, his daughter was excited that I had come, introduced me to her husband. Then he said, your people are here. When I turned, when he pointed, your people are here, Kwesi Pratt was there with Sami Okujeto Ablakwa. And I said, yeah, today I'm dead. The argument... the Kwesi Pratt's wife came and said, you people, are you coming for party? Okujeto said, you, Paul, I said, you too. Kwesi Pratt said, nobody said anybody is a boa in that conversation. We argued for 2.5 hours. They said, no. Ablakwa said, no, Paul. I said, I don't agree with you. That story that you broke is not a good story. He said, but that day you were treating that story like that. We were hungry and we ate and nicely. Nobody said anybody is a boa. They are left wing, I'm right wing. It's fair. That's how we build Ghana together. They didn't pretend. Kwesi Pratt doesn't pretend that he's neutral. He's neutral for what? He's a left-wing reporter. So those who give the neutral pretense, they are hypocrites. Let's be serious about it, okay? Okay, the guy goes on. It's quite long, viewers, sorry. To those who disagree with his view and therefore resort to the use of disparaging and derogatory remarks directed at this honorable comrade rather than constructive criticism should know that for 20 years he's had to endure this. He has stood his ground as the indefatigable professional he is and has withered worse than any of us can ever fathom. Indeed, he will patently and palpably weather this too. Of course, we will, by the grace of God. I call him mighty because his finesse and panache in carrying out his professional duty as a journalist inspires me in ways none can ever imagine, especially his adeptness in the area of jurisprudence. Hey, the guy knows English already. Hey, this guy, Derrick, what secondary school did you go to? Please tell me you went to Presec. Don't say you went to Adisadel or I beg you, Derrick. Even if you didn't go to Presec, say you went to Presec, because this is your skill there. Charlie, it is only Mrs. Adom. Our English teacher was called Mrs. Adom and Mr. Champon. Only Mrs. Champon could have taught you that. May she rest in peace. Or Mrs. Adom could have taught you this. Hey! He says, I call him mighty because his fineness and panache in carrying out his professional duty as a journalist inspires me in ways none can ever imagine, especially his adaptness in the area of jurisprudence. From the days of Joy FM, extinct with the BBC, through to the Times at City, and now on Metro TV, there's no beating the verity of the greatness inspired by this colossal figure in journalism here in Ghana and the entire continent of Africa. Just like my interest in Good Evening Ghana was ignited by an elder brother to whom I owe a huge thanks about more than a decade ago, posterity will not be rid of the same opportunity because so long as I yet draw breath, I will make certain of that. He says that he also sent Good Evening Ghana to the rest. Admittedly, the road has been fairly long. It's quite long. Let me move on. Okay, I think there's a final paragraph. Congratulations are in order for the mighty Paul Adom-Otchere and the whole Good Evening Ghana crew on an enviable 20-year plus journey, among many other things, for the fact that you inspire we the young ones to dare attempt greatness. We say thank you and we wish you Godspeed on the road ahead. For our sakes and how far we have come with this, dare I say, we've only just begun. Keep this going ad infinitum. I am Derrick Offe Junior and I stand for Paul Adom-Otchere. Wow, I love this guy. I just love this guy. Man, hey, you see the English, you see sensible people, the way they present it. In that prose. Some people were with Jimmy. Paul Adom-Otchere with Jimmy. What does it mean? What does it even mean? You can't make an argument. You can't bring your brain to compete. You just go about with Jimmy. Okay.